Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Commerce Lab by Ecomcy, the place of everything related to Amazon FBA parallel and e-commerce. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, your host, founder, and CEO of Ecomcy. And today we're bringing another special guest. His name is Umair Jutt, and he's the founder and CEO of basically ProJapan, Amazon Japan. This is a very interesting topic, which, to be honest, we have never had an expert when it comes to Amazon Japan, and he specializes on that. And actually, his agency is one of the top in the space when it comes to helping sellers expand across this region. So today, I wanted to bring Umar to basically talk about this opportunity and just talk about what are some of the challenges, what are some of the strategies you should be implementing, and also tips in terms of things that you must consider when you take that decision. So, Omar, it's a pleasure to have you here. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing really well and appreciate for letting me in here on this great podcast. So happy to share my knowledge, my journey with your audiences. And yep,
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure. And first of all, thank you for making an early morning for this podcast. I know
yeah,
just before we going live, you were talking to me about your early morning routine, like getting up at 4:30, which for me that sounds like
yeah,
wow, inspiring. I wish I could wake up at that time. So very
yeah,
good. And let's talk about a little bit about you because I feel everybody has an interesting story, and I do this with all my guests. I feel like I want to learn more about who is Omar and how you get to basically where you are with your agency, and why do an agency around the Amazon space. Yeah.
yeah. Amazing, Vincenzo. So I would like to quickly touch on the thing like we just talked. Like we have to, we can say, really early in Japan if we are doing business with, you can say, businesses in America or Europe. So you can say Japan is like 13 hour ahead from America or Europe. So we have to, you can say, manage that thing. And yeah, like when it's come to me and how I started this journey, you can say like I was studying in high school and it was not going so well for me. So I dropped out like in the second grade, and then I just went on a journey to, you can say, find something online to start
Okay.
making money. So you can say I started typing on YouTube like how to make money online. So I saw a bunch of the videos. I tried many different ways, but none of them worked. And
Yeah.
then you can say I came across somebody's video, I don't remember, to make money on Amazon by doing
Yeah.
FBA. So it sounded really interested to me, and also you can say I heard from one of my brother like this is really something good to do. So that encouraged me to go forward in this journey. And you can say around like 7 8 years ago from now, I started my own Amazon brand in Japan. And
Yes.
yeah, in the, you can say in starting it was not that much good. There
Okay.
was many mistakes, there was many problems. This was new market. There was not as much as knowledge for Japanese marketplace as much as there are for USA or different marketplaces. So I have to figure out all these things on my own self, like how to do the better SEO in Japan and how the algorithm works here and the customer interest and all those things. So you can say like built a brand, you can say exit it for good amount, and then you can say I found that like there are many people struggling like me in this, you can say, Amazon Japan marketplace and Japanese marketplace. So I founded this agency called ProJapan, and so far we have had more than 100 sellers expand to Japanese marketplace, and yep, that's how it is going.
Wow, very nice. And I think, first of all, thank you for sharing the journey and be transparent about that, especially sharing that at the beginning, it wasn't easy. I feel that's a very important thing to always highlight because I feel sometimes when people look at us, like especially that we've been in the space for so many years, they might think that yeah, we never did a mistake, we had everything figured out. And I think it's important that throughout this journey, it's all about how many times you basically stand out from those mistakes. It's not about how many mistakes you do because at the end of the day,
Yep.
everybody does mistakes. It's about how many times you do the mistake, you learn from it. At the end of the day, all those mistakes is what allow you to learn and become basically proficient at certain things, and what may you eventually be a successful seller and do your agency. So it's part of the
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Like it takes nothing to, you can say, go with the crowd, but it takes everything to stand alone. So that's what I took it. And like you can say there was not you can say enough knowledge about Amazon Japan. There was not experts here, so you can say I had to figure all these things on my own. So we did it, and yeah, it's going, and now it's going to help a lot of other sellers to, you can say, make this journey seamless for them, as it was much harder for me. It took me like months and almost a years to figure out small things in Japanese marketplace as come, yeah, as it come to like algorithms and the customer understandings and how to build a brand in Japan. So all those things which makes really any e-commerce business successful in Japan. It took me years to understand, but now I have that all knowledge and it can be helpful for newcomers into Japanese marketplace.
Great. Now, before we jump into technicality and everything around Amazon, Japan, I saw
Mhm.
that you speak 5 languages. So that's wow.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about that and how you managed to, conquer five
Yeah,
languages.
you can say like I was since you can say when I born we moved out to Dubai and you can say I
Nice.
learned Arabic there as well as you can say I'm Muslim. We also know Arabic, so
Good.
Arabic came from there and you can say as I was born in Pakistan I knew Urdu. You can say
Wow.
we are neighbor of India.
Citizen
We
of
know
the world.
Hindi as well. Yeah, yeah. So then you can say I came to Japan, studied here since my you can say junior high school. I learned the Japanese, and then I was a
Yeah.
little bit more interested, you can say, in learning in Turkish. So I started watching many Turkish series, you can say, or videos. So I learned
Novels.
Turkish from there, and my next target is to learn maybe Russian. Yeah,
Nice, very good, very good. Now, let's start jumping into Amazon Japan. Amazon Japan is a very interesting topic, because let's be honest, we also talked about this the other day. Amazon Japan, I believe, right now is in the third or second place when it comes to size and the Amazon ecosystem. It's growing very
yep,
fast. Like it's basically it's growing at the fastest rate when it comes to all the Amazon marketplaces,
yep,
and and at the same time, it's surprising, because it's growing at that pace. But when it comes to when you talk to people in the Amazon community, not a lot of people seems to be selling in Amazon Japan. So it
yeah,
seems like it's basically a blue ocean that the few people selling in Amazon Japan is like, a competition. I'm
mhm.
assuming, and of course, that's why I want you to come in here and give us a little bit of insight. Is that it's nothing compared to the US when it comes to competition. So,
Yep, yep,
tell me a little bit about how Japan right now in terms of competition and what is the opportunity
definitely.
there. Yeah.
Definitely. So, Vincenzo, let me put it this way. Like you can say, most of the Amazon sellers start their journey from their own country. Maybe somebody is Canada, they start from there.
Hmm.
Somebody in USA, they start from there. Somebody in UK, they start from there. So mostly, you can say most of sellers start from US marketplace.
Yeah.
So once they are doing good in US marketplace, their next target mostly can be like Canada or UK marketplace. So these are their next targets. But you can say there is one interesting thing is that like Japan's population is double than the UK's population, and you
Hmm.
can say it have the more potential than the UK marketplace. And you can say, but still you can say sellers' next target are UK marketplace instead of Japanese marketplace. It is just because they don't know the language, are not aware of the rules, they are not aware of you can say Japanese consumer behavior, and just because
Yeah.
of this they are you can say neglecting this you can say bigger opportunity which I can say than UK, and going into UK and European marketplaces, which is also good. But I think it's more better to go in there where your competitors still not exist, and you can be you can say a king in your category really easily in Japan. We have seen that because 2000 reviews can say is nothing in USA, but
Yeah.
2000 reviews can be top number one in very many
Yeah.
category in Japan. So that's
Yeah.
that's the difference of competition here.
Awesome. Now let's bring to the table what is selling when it comes to Japan, because I know when it culture wise and the behavior of the basically population in Japan is completely different than what we might find across Europe and the USA. So what are some of the trends you have
Mhm.
identified that you will say these are the maybe top three, five categories that right now in Japan are doing very well? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So, Vincenzo, when it comes to like customer behavior, we can pretty much compare, we can compare it not 100%, but we can pretty much compare it with Germany's customer behavior as
Hmm.
well.
Okay.
This
Nice.
both country really resonates with them. But you can say one of the biggest difference in Japanese, you can say audiences and all these European, North American audiences is that Japanese audiences are really, really crucial of what they purchase and who they purchase it from. So if that's not clear who you are and why you're selling it, if that's not clear in your message, you may gonna lose the sales. So that's one of the biggest
Okay.
you can say differences in the customer understanding. We can go more deeper into that as well. And yeah, so that's the difference I have found. And we have many ways to solve that. Like you can you can build your off Amazon, you can say, appearance. That's going to help you a lot, because
Yeah.
whenever Japanese customer come to your listing, they search your brand, they find your product really interesting. After sorting out the whole marketplace, they like your product, but still they will go on Google and search about you, who you are, and
Yeah.
are you trustworthy or not. So if they
They
will
go in
not
depth.
find,
They go in
yeah,
depth. They are not
they
this.
go in.
They don't make the decision on the spot like USA, for example. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely, Vincenzo. Like that data shows it very clearly. Like in USA, you can say average seller spent like less than a minute
Yeah.
before they make a purchase, but in Japan, it's like average 4 to 5 minutes. So we can
Wow.
easily understand like where they're going all this time. So they go
Yeah.
on Google, they go on Instagram, search about yourself. So if they can't find you anywhere else, it will be like 50-50, their purchase or not. So if they find you somewhere else as well, it's going to increase your chances of getting that purchase. So that's one of the way, and there are more other ways we can talk. And also I'll be talking more other ways in my book, which I'll be launching really soon. And there will be more deeper ways we can say cover up this gap and make sure like you are appealing to the Japanese consumer behaviors, so that make your brand stand out in Japanese marketplace. Yeah.
Nice. And very important thing that you mentioned the book there. I'm gonna make sure for all the listeners and the ones watching, we're gonna put all that down in the description. Then towards the end of the episode, we can also mention how you can get your hands into one of them, because I feel that's gonna add a ton of value for those interested
Yeah,
to
I mean,
jump into Java. Yeah.
Vincent, and we will be offering like a 50% discount for whoever buys through this link, and it will be
Awesome.
50% off for them. And yeah, and also like one more thing you have mentioned, like what are the main categories in
Exactly.
Japan? So you
Yeah.
can say through my experience, like I have worked with Chinese sellers, the factories, so you can say who directly create their products and ship it to Japanese marketplace, because it's really easy for them, because China and Japan
Yeah.
is really neighbors to each other. So you can say when it comes to like for them to shipping products from China to Los Angeles or USA, it can take them like 45 days. But when
Okay.
it comes to Japan, it's just 6-7 days. It's just like their neighbor. So it's really easy for them to sell in Japanese marketplace, especially for Chinese sellers. And you can say the main target I can see so far is like electronics. Japanese, you can say Japanese audiences are really tech savvy. So if your product like in headphones category, or in you can say microphones or computer related or technology
Yeah.
related, and it is something interesting and new, and you know you are solving something really good with this product, Japan can definitely be your best marketplace to expand, because these audiences are really tech savvy. If there's something anything new about tech and it's appealing to the customers, they're gonna purchase it like crazy. So that's one of the biggest category I have seen so far. And then it comes to like makeups,
Yeah.
especially Korean makeups, and they are not. So there is a huge gap here in Japan right now. A lot of people, you can say makeup can be like second or third largest category in Japan, and there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of, you can say, Korean makeups, but they are still not like
Exactly.
European makeups, or you can say American makeups. So those brands can be really, really good in this marketplace. And then there are supplements. The Japanese people really like supplement.
Correct.
They do gym, they are gym freaks. We can say every
Yeah.
single one of them train. So every single of them is jacked here in Japan. They
Wow.
train in school as well.
I didn't know that.
So
Okay.
yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
these are the main three categories I can see we are making really great results in. There are other
Awesome.
small categories, but these are the main top one.
Yeah. Yeah. One category I was just thinking while you were explaining all this is like, I would assume like, things around anime or video games or stuff like that must be also big in Japan, right? Maybe. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Like
Yeah.
as you have mentioned, like tech. So it
Yeah.
comes to into
Exactly.
like video gaming. You have the headphones. You have some kind of LCD which you are trying to
Nice.
sell to the gaming industry. That will be booming inside Japanese marketplace. And
Nice.
yep. And if you can relate that to some kind of anime, you can design it on base of
Yeah.
anime.
Or
That
get a
will be like,
license or
yeah,
get like Naruto licensing. I mean, that would kill it. Like, yeah,
yeah, that
something
that
like
will kill
that.
it definitely. That will kill it definitely. And on top of that, like if you can launch something new in Japan, and you go and you can say do some broadcasting on TV as well,
Yeah.
which we can help you get inside TV news ads as well. So if you do that, your brand will be really really
Yeah.
booming here inside
Yeah.
Japan, because you
Yeah.
can see there are a lot of categories and products which still doesn't even like, exist in Japanese marketplace. People are not even aware of that. So if you are one of that category, you already have reviews in USA or Europe, expand to Japanese marketplace. You can say promote yourself through articles, through influencers, and get in the TV. Just once you have to do this big investment, and
Yeah.
then you are set for almost next 5-10 years in Japanese marketplace. With you will be covering that new category. So there are hundreds of categories which still doesn't even exist in Japanese marketplace, but there are huge consumer behavior, consumers who are coming every single day to Amazon, explore the products and purchase them.
Awesome. Now let's start talk a little bit about the criteria to get into Amazon Japan, because let's be honest, when it comes to some of the barriers to enter the market, that's at the same time one of the main reasons why there's not many people competing in the market, because for a lot of people, they don't have the right resources, or they don't really know how to enter in terms of the legal side of things and all of that. So what I want to basically say with all this, like, can we briefly touch on about one of some of the key points, like a person, let's say a US brand that want to jump into Japan? What are
Mhm.
some of the main things you must have to start selling Amazon Japan? Yeah.
Yep, definitely. So that will be really, really great question. So that's one of my topic inside our book. Like, if you are a brand, you're looking forward to expand to Japanese marketplace, what are the exact steps you need to take? There are like 15, 16 steps. If you really, really follow that through, there is like uh 90% chance you're gonna succeed in Japanese marketplace. So I can say I will summary it here for you as well.
Yep.
You can say if you are a brand in USA, you're looking forward to expand to Japanese marketplace, so very first thing is to expand your account. So you can say many sellers have this problem, like they cannot expand their account properly, they cannot expand their reviews and the listing
Yep.
information properly, and they get stuck there a lot of time. So you can say most of the leads we get all of the time because of this problem. Hey, Umair Jutt, we have this problem. We cannot even expand our listings. Can you please help with this? So
Yep.
this is one of the biggest issue. So there are, you can say, many ways to do this. Like you can easily go to the, you can say, expand your account section, and you can easily pull out that bulk files from there and expand the Japanese marketplace. And make sure when you expand the Japanese marketplace, do not create your listing on based of the ASIN, but make it with the UPC, or you can say your EN or whatever JS1 code you're using. That will be more better. So this is the first step. Expand your account, register, you can say connect your Japanese account with
Yep.
your brand as well in brand registry. So these are the very main steps to expand your account. Then when it comes to expanding your products, don't go for all of the products. Do market research, understand what kind of products will work well. So understand like how you can first launch hot product in Japan, make your brand known, make your good consumer audiences around your brand, so they know your brand really well, and then you can launch pretty much everything you want. But at first, you must be launching something which have demand in Japanese marketplace. So if there is demand, competition is not really big thing here. I do not, you can say most of the time, do not take competition into consideration when expanding any brand from US. And I say in terms of reviews, or you can say in terms of PPC marketing, ad spend, or those kind of things. There is not like pretty much big, you can say, hurdles you have to face in terms of competition. But definitely look into demand. If there is no demand, do not start with that product. Definitely start with the product which have the demand. Analyze your whole catalog, make a report. We can also help you make that report as well, really in depth, so you can understand that which your product is better to go from all of your 100 SKU, which 3 or 4 SKUs or lessons are good. Start with them, make your brand, and there is really one cool thing, like build your brand and have your own customer
Mm-hmm.
information, like
Yeah.
uh, do some kind of like card inserting, take the or you take your audiences to like one more platform like your email list or line account. There is like line something like WhatsApp or WeChat in China, WhatsApp in Europe and America. That's something like line in Japan. So you can say
Yeah.
build your audiences in line. That's really good thing. First of all, launch your brand, any good products, then build your audiences online, and then from there, pretty much you can sell anything. You can say you can use that line audiences all the time. Sell them. You launching new product, give them some coupons, launch any new products with very less budget, and you will be doing really well in the market. But it just doesn't stop there. You will have to do a lot of more stuff. You can say deepen down your roots into Japanese marketplace. It
Yeah.
comes to like articles, work with the influencers. Like Japanese people are really, you can say, trust, you can say, loyal customers, and they are really trusty on what and who they love. So if they like
Exactly.
some influencers, they refer this product, definitely 90% of chances they're going to purchase it from you. And you can
Okay.
say build your Japanese website. You can say that will be like a plus point. So I can say first expand to Amazon Japan, and from there start going into off Amazon as well, and that's your way to go into Japanese marketplace.
Nice, very good. Thank you very much for outlining all that. I'm sure everybody's taking notes
Yeah,
about all those tips you just share out there. I appreciate that. I think another question I have, and this is something that people usually ask me, and I'm sure maybe you can also help us answer this. Is when it comes to launching in Amazon Japan, there is also this been these articles and comments about the fact that you need apparently a representation in the country to help you with importing
yeah,
and
yeah,
all of
yeah.
that. So, can you
So
briefly, high level, we don't need to go in depth, but is it true? Like, you need a company to represent you for importing? How complex is that, and all of that? Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So that's really hot topic. So we're gonna touch on that. So I will really, you can say, make it really understand for you guys. So for example, in Europe or USA, you can say Amazon can act on behalf of you. Like you can
Hmm.
send exactly from your Chinese factory to Amazon FBA warehouse,
Yeah.
and Amazon gonna receive your products. But it doesn't happen in Japan because Amazon does not offer that service. Amazon cannot offer your products directly into their warehouse. But still, if you want to do that, there is a way, but that will cost you really, really a lot. You can use this way if you have really small inventory, like you're just testing. But if you sending like 500 plus units, that's not the way to go. So you can say, if you want to send directly to FP warehouse, you will have to provide your listing information to the customs. So the and your, you can say, selling price. So then the custom is going to charge you tax on based of your selling price. For example, if
I
you're
see.
selling on at $10 your product, and your, you can say, your tax is 10%, so you will pay like $1. You will pay one
Yeah.
dollar in the tax, and that will cost you like $1 from your profit margin. So that's one way to go. But on the other way, if you have somebody like us or anybody else who will receive your product first in Japanese marketplace and then send it to Amazon FBA warehouse, you're gonna be only charged on base of your invoicing price. So let's take the same criteria. There is 10% the tax you have to pay, and your investing price is just $1. So you will have to pay $0.1 of tax instead of $1. So that's where you save a really big difference. So we're talking about just small numbers. Just imagine if it goes like 10K,
I
20K
see.
plus, how much big,
So
you can
one is
say.
charged. So for people listening and watching, one is gonna be on the sell price, as you mentioned, if you do it directly, and through you, it's not gonna be on the sell price, or what is the difference of on the $1,
Yeah,
so people can
it's going
understand?
to be like, on your investing price at
I
what cost
see.
you have purchased it. So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
when you send to Amazon, they're gonna charge you on based of at what price you are selling.
Yeah.
But if you use somebody like us or
Local.
any third party in
It's like
Japan,
cost of goods. It's based on cost of goods.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Okay.
will cost on goods. So that saves you huge a lot of profit margin. And but definitely, if you are somebody just testing small thing like
Yeah.
100 units, you can
You can
say,
do it
if
directly.
if
Yeah.
your inventory costs less than $150, just send it directly with air shipment to Amazon FBA warehouse. Test your product. Once you know it's good, then you can use somebody like us. Send your whole shipment. We will help you receive it, paste the shipment labels, and send it to FBA warehouse. And yeah, that's how the IUR works. That's, you
Very
can say, many
interesting.
people complicates it, but it's that simple.
Yeah, that's very good that you explained the dual scenarios, because I feel there is a lot of confusion in the space that people think that there is
Mhm.
only one way, which is having somebody in Japan. But I bet a lot of people don't know that they can go the route that you mentioned, which again is less
Mhm.
profitable, but it's a good way to get started as soon as possible and test a product. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Now, when it comes to selling in Japan, can you do it with an entity from, let's say, overseas, or you need an entity also in Japan and all of that?
Yeah, you don't need any entity. Like that's one of the biggest difference you have from Japanese sellers, and you can say international sellers. Like you do not have to pay this 52% taxes in Japan. So you can say all these Japanese
Wow.
sellers, all
Yeah.
these Japanese sellers who have the companies in Japan, like me, I did. So I had to pay 52% tax on the
Wow,
sales
that's
I was
crazy.
getting.
That's
So you
crazy.
don't have to pay that. That's the biggest privileges guys have.
Wow. So that means, yeah, you have a huge margin, especially if you're coming from countries that are also tax efficient. Like, you can have pricing that nobody else has in Japan very much.
Definitely, and there is a lot more stuff like in terms of Japanese companies. You can say selling. What is their psychology of selling on Amazon, and what's the psychology of e-commerce sellers from USA or Australia is completely different. So that's also give you really, really huge advantage. So I will just, you can say, finish this one small example. For example, there is a Japanese company.
Yeah.
You can say they want to launch this product. Their budget is $1,000 per month in PPC spend. All right.
Mm.
So if the $1,000 budget is spent just in first 15 days, they will not do any advertisement for next 15 days until it's the next month started. So
Yeah.
if that's you instead of that company, what will you do?
Um, I mean, if I already spent my 1,015 days and the margin still there, I will keep adding more money, of course, to the
Yeah,
to
definitely, because you do not want to
yeah
break that
yeah
rhythm.
yeah
All
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
because you don't want to break that rhythm because you already spent this money. You do not care
And
to
you don't want
spend a
to lose
little
all
bit more.
organic ranking. You don't wanna lose the
Yeah.
momentum. Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah.
that's how the Japanese companies work. They will not spend anything until it starts the next month. And
Uh-huh.
there are a lot more
Okay.
things like this. So
Yeah.
which sets you apart from these Japanese companies and have you a really big advantage and privileges. And all the tools you guys have like Helium Tent and Jungle Scout, that doesn't exist in Japan. They are not aware of it yet. So you guys have really big advantages if you're selling in the Japanese marketplace. You can easily do your research, find which of one of your product have the demand in Japan, really localize your listing. That's one of the main thing. I have seen many sellers just translate the listing and come to me, hey, can you please help me put these keywords into
Yeah.
this? That's one of the active way to do this. And even those keywords are translated from English keywords, so that doesn't really make sense. Like
I know.
if you want to sell in Japanese marketplace, you have to do the keyword research inside Japan. You
Yeah.
need to put those keywords in your listing, what customer are searching for, not what you are thinking to put into your listing. So
Yeah.
that's one of the big thing. Do the Japanese market research, find your good keywords, understand your customers, create really compelling listings, Japanese style images, Japanese style A plus content. There is a huge difference in European style images, A plus content, the listing content, than the Japanese. So we help you do that completely localized so that your listing will be appealing to the cultural and localized understanding of Japanese consumers. So that's if you have that set, you have the demand of your product, launch it to Japanese marketplace with 1 to 2 products, build your brand, build your audience, go from there. That's it.
Awesome. Now, and you touched on something very interesting, which is the listings. And I
Yeah,
heard that's also something very complex in Japan because I know there are different alphabets as well and dialects. So, can you talk us a little bit about how somebody can even navigate around that complexity?
definitely,
And when it comes to
definitely,
tools, are there some tools out there you can recommend for Amazon Japan?
definitely. So Vincenzo, like when I will you can say tell it you about my experiences, how it went, and how it really worked. You can say when I came to Japan, I started learning Japanese. It was really hard. Like there is one thing called katakana, and there is one another thing like called hiragana, and there is one real thing which is called kanji. Kanji
Wow.
are Chinese letters.
Mm.
You can say kanji is really Chinese, but it's a Japanese version of kanji. So that's the real language. But you can say like around 100 years ago, there was two more languages developed from this kanji, which is called katakana and
Okay.
hiragana. All right.
Okay.
So this is for us to easily understand. So can the
Yeah.
kanji is the real language, and katakana is which we use to write the English words into Japanese form. For
Wow.
example,
Okay.
your name is Vincenzo. So this is
Yeah.
really good into Japanese. Like you are finishing in proper form in Japanese. So let's take my name. So my name is Umair. So it ends here. So if we want to write it in Japanese form, it will be like Umeiru. So it cannot be ended Umair. It must be Ru. So
Ah,
there is one thing called katakana which we use to write English words. So Japanese people can read the English. And there is one thing called hiragana. These are another language in writing. So hiragana is used to write kanji, Japanese, easily into, you can say, kind of Japanese people to understand really easy. This is another version of Japanese.
yeah.
And then there is like this Chinese version. So these are all versions. And also there is English. English, there is you can say not popular in Japan, but it must be in your listing that make your brand look a rich brand. It must be not like all the you can say full up with English, just 1 to 2 keywords, main keywords. Just put that into your listing. That will make really good impression on the Japanese consumer to make sure they make
Yeah.
good purchase. So you can
Yeah.
say these are different. You can say there are 4 different kind of languages are being used in Japan:
Yeah.
English, kanji, hiragana, katakana.
Yeah.
So you have to put these all language.
Definitely don't use Google Translator. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. Many sellers I have seen, like big sellers, they have like 10K plus reviews.
Yeah.
They use Google Translate.
Oh
After
my,
even
they
six
kill it.
months,
they
No,
kill it.
they say like, whoa, man, we're selling from 6 months. There are no even one sales. So that's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
You have to, you can say, algorithm will not even pick up your listing if you do not have the proper
It doesn't
keywords
index
inside.
basically. Yeah,
Definitely. And like the Vincenzo, when it comes to tools, you can say at very beginning there was only one tool for Japanese marketplace, which was called Seller Sprite.
yeah,
And then the Helium 10 came in, the Jungle Scout came in, and you can say now the Amazon Brand Analytics is there as well. So I have been using all these tools, and my experience is pretty much with, like, can say, go with Helium 10. That's
nice.
the really good tool, and that's also we mostly use. But we also, you can say, take the data from all these different tools,
Yeah,
compare that and take the average of that and take the really good data out. So this, you can say, there are a bunch of different tools, like more than 10, 15 tools there are there. But
yeah.
definitely, if you're starting, do not complex it, just go with Helium 10 and brand analytics, and that will give you really, really good understanding.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I mean, the amount of content and things we touch on today is been amazing. So I appreciate it. I know that we're only scratching the surface because this thing is
Yeah,
so vast, and I'm sure we're gonna have many more episodes as Japan keeps growing as a marketplace. In the
definitely.
meantime, it's been a pleasure for me to have in the show and meet you. I think
Mhm.
having now a partnership with somebody like you that understand the market inside out is super valuable for me,
Mhm.
for my businesses, and for clients. I think before you go, I'm pretty sure a lot of people now might be interested to reach out to you and even,
Mhm.
explore how you can help them expand to Japan. So can you tell me a little bit about how they can reach out to you
Yeah,
and
definitely.
how they can get started? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, Vincenzo. There are different ways. Either they can go to my website, projapan.co, or they can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. It's called Umair Jutt, Umair space Jutt, and you can search me up there on LinkedIn and message me directly, and we can go from there. And either you can go to my website called projapan.co and just go fill a form there, and my team will get in touch with you, and we can go from there to perform all these steps we have just told and a lot more to make sure you are going with really good strategies into this one of the biggest world largest Amazon marketplace.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Omar. It's been a pleasure. Yeah. See you in the next one. I'm going to make sure to have everything down in the description so people can reach out. Yeah. It's been a pleasure.
For sure, Vincenzo. It was really great to talk here, and it's amazing. Let's get this going, as I
Yeah.
think people need to know about this marketplace a lot more. And whoever comes in here first, gonna make the really good money, because you can
I
say
know.
only the pioneers, and only the pioneers becomes, you can say, really fruitful from the marketplace. Other commerce can take some share. There are
I know.
many categories where there is still nothing from, you can say, USA or European marketplaces. You can bring your technology, you can bring your product, you can bring your innovation and make it boom here into Japanese marketplace. And we'll talk more in detail. That's it for today, and it's amazing. And yeah, you guys can understand more better in the book, which is really coming out this week.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm looking forward for that book, and I'm going to make sure as
Yeah,
well that we put all that in the notes. Yeah. So thank you,
for
Omar. It's
sure.
been a pleasure. Thank you.
I
Have a
appreciate
nice
that.
one.
Appreciate.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good day.
See ya.